Moines, Iowa, and I was fighting against a very tough opponent. And I remember our first round, he beat my behind from one side of the cage to the next. I remember sitting at the end of the first round, thinking, God, that I survived. For one, I looked at my wife, and she looked at me, and I'm like, I don't want to go back out there. When I heard that ring again, the bell rang, I walked right back out there, and I was just cut right back in the zone. And I remember at the end of the fight, seeing that it was the bloodiest fight I've ever been in my life. I remember somebody shouting from the balcony, just LionHeart, that kid's got heart. And from then on, I've always loved it.
Great. What's the fundamental purpose of your fitness studio?
Basically, it was to educate my clients, my members, my guests, to educate them, teach them what it is to have fitness and be a part of fitness and making it their lifestyle. It's like the primary function of the Fitness Academy is to teach you all about fitness.
So what are the 3 exercises that you're going to show us today?
The first was with the mook jump, also formerly known as the wooden dummy. The second I wanted to introduce you to was breakdance, the rope drills. In relation to how it helps benefit the body, it builds in circulation, okay? That's one thing. It toughens the body, toughens the bones, okay? These are examples of jump. Okay? Now, I built the Fitness Academy primarily for fighters. Originally. I came into the thought, like, there has to be more to it than just fighting. Like, where's the specialty training? Where's the extracurricular that teaches you more to evolve as a fighter? Now, in relation to this is the depiction of a head, the sternum, well, technically the abdomen, if you think about it, and then you have your legs. From here, once I learned to circulate in between the hands, I learned to make contact, to make a target. If I know where the hands are always going to be, I always know where not to be. Okay? Now, as I travel through this, I learned to lead and build up the speed. As a fighter, we don't like to get hit. Everybody thinks that we're like this big, walk around like big giants or something. If I don't want to get hit, I'm pretty sure my opponent doesn't want to be hit. So this teaches us how to build up the speed and accuracy on the human body.
So this is like when you're going like this, you're blocking a shot.
Correct.
He's coming at you.
Correct.
And then you're going in for the punch.
Correct.
So
Correct.
it's on the count.
For what we do in combat, it's all about movement. And for some people that are just now getting introduced to fitness, footwork can also be talked about as movement therapy. You know, it's taken somebody from being a plus size and they aren't aware of what physical activities that their body can actually endure. So the best way to teach anybody, especially if they are in a plus size, is movement therapy. In relation to all of this, I teach my students from dancing all the way over to like actually being in the combat zones, even though they're not a part of it. I start with a small base where they have to listen to the beat. They have to learn to hear it. Now when we teach hip hop, you teach rhythm. You don't teach hip hop. The dance and the techniques and everything comes from how your flavor is. And I mean, I hate to say it when it's flavor. What's another word for it? Your style, right? So when it comes down to it, I teach my guys how the dance, the feet are related, okay? And then it advances, turns into an intermediate step. So I can shorten up the steps, make it quicker, and also at the same time, we can talk about the hands. Hands are the same image in the flexion of the move jump. from the workouts that we change with them, they work certain parts of the muscles. Whether it's right now, my back, okay, my shoulders. Then we add other steps as far as lunges in between. Slings. Most people in CrossFit, thing is, a lot of people get a big ball of energy and they say, all right, determination, big ball of determination, let's say that. They go to Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, Anytime Fitness, Snap Fitness, and all that. Get on the treadmill, get on the elliptical. But then after that, you have a field of other machines, free weights, and you don't know what to do with them. So then you have, after that 3 weeks of determination, and you're on the elliptical, on the treadmill, on the stepper, you plateau. So after you condition yourself to being, well, I can run 10 miles. Well, if you go 10.3 miles, it's going to be that much harder, but you might only make it that much further. Now, what if we change the plane a little bit instead of running on flat land? We start running uphill. Still that same determination, that same ambition to get all the way up there and do it and be all hardcore. Still the same speed, but you just changed it now. Because now you're utilizing different muscles in a different way. So now, instead of being on that plateau shelf, you just increased where that plateau shelf is. So now you get consistent and condition yourself. I take people from whatever level that they are, and I help them reach greater levels. It may be nutrition, maybe physically, but a lot of it has to do with mental. Make sense?
Alright, let me try these ropes.
My
I
object
don't
is-
want my doctor to see this because he'll kill me.
That's what they say, right? So that sounds a little
That's what
medieval,
they say.
but if that's what they say. No. There's more ways to do a specific job. And that's the way I feel with fitness. So creativity is my business. That's what I'm really doing.
Now, the true essence of all training is the physical activity. It's the enduring. It's the building the stamina, the cardiovascular. So I kind of compose that into like a variety of fitness, taking you through rope drills, through basic calisthenics. When you step on the mats here, it's like you're going to the playground. This is our playground.
Thank you for watching. I'm your host, Keisha Ray, and this is Local Celebs Magazine Online. See you next time.